What is up guys, welcome back to Niche Vapes. Today's topic is going to be about temperature control. We're going to discuss what is temperature control, the pros and cons of it, the flavor that it gives, and replay mode. Let's get started. Temperature control basically regulates the wattage to achieve the temperature that is set by reading the change in resistance of the wire. This means that only wires that change in resistance when heated can be used, such as stainless steel, titanium, and nickel. A temperature control regulated mod is required, but chances are that the mod you are currently using already supports temperature control. Do note that the resistance of the coils will change when hotspots are present on the coils. Hotspots are basically short circuits which messes with the true resistance reading of the coil. This is the reason why temperature control coils have a weird taste when set up without resolving hotspots. Resistance is key to temperature control. Each part of the mod, from the batteries to the coils, has its own resistance and it changes with heat. If any of your tank has resistance that jumps around due to a bad 510 connection or coils that do not have a proper contact with the deck post, it is best to lock your resistance. For me, I'd recommend against locking resistance, but if you have to, it is best to lock it at room temperature after assuring that no hotspots are present. Devices that I have tested that works well with temperature controls are DNA chip devices. I have also tested Yeehy chip devices such as the SX lineup. Keeping in mind that not all temperature control mods are created equally, so experiences may vary. Now we can move on to the temperature coefficient of resistance, TCR for short. It is basically a CSV curve file that tells your mod what temperature it is in based on the resistance of the coil. For example, if you're vaping at 400 Fahrenheit with the proper wattage setting but there's little vape, it could be due to the TCR curve telling your mod is firing at 400 Fahrenheit but is in fact much lower than that. From what I experienced from stainless steel coils, different manufacturers have different tolerance of mixed alloys even when it's 316L stainless steel. Each manufacturer will require a custom-made TCR curve which is normally not provided. All hope is not lost however, as experienced users have released their own TCR files for DNA devices in the forums. As for titanium grade 1 however, it's 99% titanium, which means that TCR curves are more universal and will work with the majority of titanium coils. For DNA users who want to use titanium, a good TCR CSV file would be from Sweet Spot Vapors, link in the description down below. It is possible to combine resistant wires like stainless steel with Cantal wraps into claptons, but this has proven to be very finicky as temperature control will work but not optimally as TCR curves have to be customized to the individual's coil's resistance. We will not be diving deep into this topic as we personally have not tested it out enough. Next we'll be discussing about Preheat. Preheat is available on most mods and it is a key to reducing the ramp up time of your vape. Picture this, when you have a big build, say a dual clapton firing at 120 watts, it takes a while to ramp up to the desired temperature. But with this preheat setting on, it fires the mod at a higher wattage until it reaches the set temperature, then it steps down to your set wattage. Refer to your user manual to check if your mod has preheat. You can also tweak the preheat punch to have a more aggressive ramp up. The benefits of temperature control, be it chain vaping a tank or a dripper, I no longer get any dry hits. I can continue vaping without worrying about my wick being juiced enough. You never reach the burning point of the cotton, and not having this experience of dry hit and cotton break is a win for me. In terms of battery life, PC uses less power compared to wattage mode. The reason being is that it only draws power from the battery to maintain the coil at your set temperature. The ability to control your desired vaping temperature will give you a consistent vape with every puff you take. Unlike in power mode, where it varies as the temperature changes based on the length of your puff. Now for the downside of temperature control. It is more complicated compared to vaping it in power mode. It's a lot of trial and errors with tons of tweaking to get the desired vape. Now we'll talk about the flavors you get from temperature control. Depending on the wire used, the flavor will be different. If you're using a titanium wire, it will give you a clean, smooth tasting vape. While for stainless steel, the flavor will have a slight metallic taste in my opinion, but still a good vape. Check out our comparison video between the two wires and Kanthal right here. Another factor that changes the flavor notes are how you set up your preheat and your temperature. Certain complex juice will have multiple flavors, for example, blueberry cake. You can taste the cake flavor more prominently with lower temperatures, while at higher temperatures, the blueberry flavor is more prominent. You should experiment with the temperature to better suit your taste. A new game changer for those who despise dry hiss but can never get TC to work right is replay mode. Replay is available on the DNA 250C and the 75C devices. Replay simplifies temperature control. It records the previous puff you took and replicates it. It does so by recording a whole lot of variables from the previous puff. No longer do you have to worry about material profile, TCR curves, or locking your ohms. Just set your watts, take a puff, and if you like it, press save puff. Every time you vape, it will be the same experience. It's just like magic. In conclusion, TC is a lot to take in, but if you're willing, you can experience a vape like no other. For those of you who want to try temperature control and not deal with setting it up, give Replay a try. You'll definitely love it. Hopefully this video clarifies some doubts about TC. If not, feel free to leave a question down below and we'll get back to you. Give it a like if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.